that he's going to go back to time and time and time again. If he doesn't have another one he can bring out here, this severely nerfs a player who's been in the running for best mid laner OCE for a while now.
And if Avant Garde doesn't ban Ryze, I actually think Legacy have a horrible choice to make. Oh, never mind. I was going to say they pick. I think they want to pick Alistar. Are you? What?
Oh, they let Carter get Tristana, though.
Trish has won every game she's been played in so far. She was banned in game 1, won game 2 and 3.
Yep.
Doesn't really surprise me.
Good Thresh steal, though.
has played so much Tristana, and Veritas very competent there as well. But Ryze, Thresh are the 2 picks there for Avant Garde, and I love blocking that Thresh away. And of course, Ryze just such a strong champion. So
I've not gotten to see Porky's Ryze much, so I'll have to take your word for it how strong it is. I do believe it'll be great. Taliwaka, though, knew what he was getting into, though, in this matchup. I do trust him as a player to be able to counterpick this. He's got a great champion pool, can bring out some cool stuff. So Legacy kind of gave away a lot with his Triss first pick. I do understand it. I think it might have been the right choice here. But Porky got his Ryze, a champion they were banning or first picking away every single time. And Nada got to take Thresh with 2 support bans, pushing Ejim off of a bigger playmaker and giving Nada a champion that Legacy was fearing earlier in Champ Select.
So apparently Tally is maybe thinking about Rumble here into that Ryze. We'll give him a couple more seconds. They do have some more time to make their picks, but not very much more. And maybe, I mean, Ejim, as you said, he has to find a different support with so many picked or banned away here. And we're going to give it a little bit more, and the lock-ins there. Picks 2 and 3, Rumble there for Taliwaka, and Braum actually for Ejim.
So Taliwaka's Rumble was very, very good when he played it earlier in this series. They're putting him back on champions. He's quite strong at. I haven't seen the Braum in a little while, but Legacy's comp looked a lot more like it did in Game 1, where, you know what, let's get in those 5v5s. You know what, let's go ahead and make these sort of plays at the 8 to 11 minute mark, where everyone but Tristana is going to be pretty strong here. And I mean, heck, there's a Ryze on the side anyway, so it's not like they're the only team with early game lulls. Legacy's comp already is looking like they're making a rebound.
Yeah, I actually think that they picked Tristana to bait the Ryze pick, knowing they wanted to pick Rumble. Porky has played, I think, 2 Rumble games so far in the series, looked great on them. I mean, maybe not as refined as we've seen Tally's Rumble look in this tournament, but still, like, absolutely fine. A good Rumble player for sure. But I would like Yuzora to revisit Jarvan if that's what he wants. But again, Avant Garde, I think taking their time in this last draft, and that's important. You got to what?
Okay.
I'm losing. Yeah, all right. Jarvan Graves are apparently our next 2 picks.
Graves comes in. Now, the thing is, without the Rumble in this lineup, I wonder how Wombo combo this comp sort of. Graves for his burst. He's a very good AoE sort of magey AD carry. He's there primarily for the burst, secondarily for decent auto attacks afterwards. Problem is, you're running Graves into a Braum, and that shield.
Oh, Carbon! He's doing it! Picks the jungle fizz.
All right, this. Well, I said, what's Legacy going to do when their back's against the wall? What cute thing they're going to do?
Jungle
One of the cutest
fizz.
things, Fizz.
One of the cutest, indeed. And actually, Chuchu's going to Yasuo too. Yeah, that's...
It's another thing I was really looking for him to try to do here, and I think it's a very smart choice there. Finds an individual playmaker, and yet it still fits the team comp. It still fits the let's go do big AoE things. Now, the setup here is only Braum. He actually has very, very few setups there. Fizz Shark and Braum, both of which unreliable and small in terms of knockups, and then Tristana can set up individual picks. But there's a lot of just sort of soft synergy with Yasuo. Not a great team fight synergy.
I really want Kenzie to pick a mid-champion. He does pick Talon.
Okay.
Hobbit Lissandra there as well was kind of a pocket pick that apparently they weren't supposed to play yesterday.
That's hilarious.
Because it was a secret, and they played it in game 2. Didn't go quite as well because they
lost, so they shouldn't bring it out again.
They mismanaged the early game, I think, against Direwolves and got Tristana a little too far ahead. Hopefully that doesn't happen to them here. But Kenzie's going to go with Talon. I guess Lissandra and Talon were the 2 counter picks left with Fizz off the map there, and without Zed, that I think are just fine in this matchup.
And of course, very smart of Legacy to pair the Fizz Yasuo picks together. That was really, really good. I liked that a whole bunch. Got rid of one of those mid lane counter picks on the correct sort of pick rotation, on the correct round. And so yeah, Kenzie is left with Talon. I haven't been convinced by many Talons in recent history, so I want to see how good Kenzie's is. His Yasuo is pretty good, to be fair, and his Xerath is amazing, so I want to see how his Talon is now at this point. Legacy have a good comp together. They've got incredibly good late game, but they've got a good enough mid game where I think, since both these teams keep playing aggressively in the first 15 minutes, they've got champions that support that play style pretty well, and I think they're in a good spot here.
Yeah, I mean, Chuchu's has done work late in best of fives with Yasuo, that's
Yes,
for sure.
he has.
Yeah, I think, I don't want to say this because it might not be quite accurate, but I think
You're gonna say it anyway.
I think that's what he played in Game 4 at the last regional in this exact position. So we'll see what happens.
Was it with the Fizz jungle, though?
No, it was not. This is a new one here for Legacy. The Fizz jungle for Carbon. I mean, I don't know if Kenstey plays Fizz. I don't believe he does, but it's smart to pick it away anyway. And Carbon loves his Fizz jungle, man.
Yeah. And, I mean, last time I saw it, it was actually pretty incredible. He did a great job with it. I've seen multiple different kinds of Fizz jungles. This has been AP Fizz from what I saw. Spectral Wraith into, I believe, Lichbane Zhonya's was the build he went for there. Likely to be doing some of the same. Fizz jungle can definitely take over the game. And the difficulty being there's only one tank, and that is Ejim. And if he does not start out this game well, Legacy's comp can just die really, really fast to Talon plus Graves.
Yeah, all right. So guys, we are going to get into Game 4 now. Legacy backs against the wall once again, trying to pick up back-to-back championships here on the blue side here for this game. Avant Garde on the right-hand side, trading wards there in the mid. The Samsung wards will be placed down. Good amount of early vision when you get that trinket ward down nice and early. And we're going to just try and get some vision in the jungle now as well. Carbon wards the bush just behind that red buff here. And I have to say, Veritas' AD choice for me is particularly telling in this game, given that Lucian was actually open as well.
That is interesting. You're right. His Lucian has been very good overall. And in fact, Lucian does pretty well against Braum because the Piercing Light goes through the Unbreakable shield. But when we talk about Avant Garde, I want to talk about what they want to do. So they're going to start fights out really aggressively. Jarvan and Thresh can both create picks, and we've seen picks be really important so far in this series, and in fact, this entire tournament. So I like that they have this element here. They've also got ridiculously strong follow-up in Talon Graves. They can one-shot somebody. Almost anyone they catch will likely get completely destroyed. And then Porky's cleanup.
Yeah, Porky's a good janitor as well. He likes to come in and just clean up fights. This is a very difficult to execute comp for Legacy, as we're going to have Carbon starting on the red side. Yozora going to start on the same side of his jungle, so red buff starts for both junglers here. Choose actually swapped to Exhaust, by the way. I saw Ignite just before we loaded into the game, and I was like, I'm not sure about that. That's pretty confident, but I do love Exhaust here. But you just double Exhaust, again, highly underrated as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think it's great. Double Exhaust, I'm really in love with personally. And I like Exhaust specifically on the Yasuo for two reasons. One being, of course, that it's good against Talon. Talon does a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Exhaust is perfect for that. The other, though, is actually, I think it's a very good as Yasuo summoner spell. It gives you CC that you don't have, honestly, that much of in a 1v1. It helps you chase your opponent down and get those dueling kills.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, Karthus is actually our traditional mid-lane Exhaust champion, randomly enough. And the reason is because he wants to slow them and hit as many Qs as possible because it's on such a low cooldown. Yasuo's got a very similar philosophy with the way he does damage as Cardred. Actually quite low here, stun there from Ejim's Braum. And I think they tried the lanes off expecting this not to happen, but we are going to kick things off Australian style here.
Yes,
as we're going to flip the standard lanes upside down.
But over and over again, Avant Garde are going to get level 2 first down here in the bottom lane. I've seen Nada sit there taking auto attacks just to hit melee minions like someone like Alistar to get the wave pushed faster. Did a good job of this one. You're seeing now Legacy have to back way back here. I just don't know if they can really threaten Cardred that much and deny CS. Of course, it's still good to be level 2 first.
Yeah, mini freeze there. Gonna just delay that experience for a little bit longer. Cardred's trying to pick into some minions, but
he denied 1 CS for that one. Good job.
Yeah, little advantages certainly do matter. And I think this is, again, a place Cardred's not happy to be in. They'll try their best here, but Veritas picking Graves, I think, definitely indicates he wants to go in for a 2v2. And he's going to get a standalone once again. The last time, sorry, that Veritas, yeah, I saw that too, poor Carbon. The last time Veritas got a standard lander in this matchup, he crushed in that last game.
That's true. Well, here we go. This is actually going to be a battle. I think Fizz wins kind of outright.
Jeez.
Look how fast Yuzora has to run away while burning to death.
Well, if we didn't know if he won before, we do know he wins now. That was so much Seastone Trident damage coming out from Carbon, who's maybe trying to flip in here and hunt down Yuzora.
Okay, good.
Does find it.
Wow, he tricked me out there.
He did. He juked me. Oh, man, he's actually going for top lane here.
And the thing is, because Yuzora's low, he knows there's no good counter gank here. This is a guaranteed gank.
Oh, they've already got the passive ticking away as well.
Good Q.
But really key there. Stun does come out. Veritas could be in trouble. Playable trigger on top of his space.
He's got heal. He's got heal.
Flashes forward. Yuzora here as well. Carbon though gets locked up. First blood for Veritas. And now Cardred goes down as well. The counter to be real Porky. Yuzora read that so well.
Significant misplay there. They had the exhaust on Carbon and the heal was still up. And then Ejim didn't actually block any of the counterattack damage. That completely backfired, even though Jarvan was so low on health.
Now Ejim's going to try and defend the push as it crashes into the mid wave. Veritas, I think, tanked the turret here. They got a little low. But now Chuchi's in the mid. He's going to try and make a big up against Kenzie. Great dodge of the rake there using that E. And, I mean, Chuchi's, at this point, especially with the start that the bottom lane has had, it is Chuchi's time once again to rise here in this game and bring his team to a Game 5.
And Kenzie, I think he spent some time in a garden. He knows his way around a rake. Actually, it'd be better for Chuchi's because he dodged it. But you know what? Whatever.
It works both ways, and that's the beautiful thing for it, because Chu's continuing to farm up here, getting aggressive on this Talon. Well, Yuzora's here though. So actually a very good ganking. Oh god, Yasuo is going to go in 1v2 actually.
We missed the knockout. This is bad for Chuchi's.
Yeah, Chuchi's maybe. He didn't wait that up at Carbon. He's coming in. That's a nice bait. Urgent Strike does come in. He actually pops onto Yuzora, but he's level 3 here as this Fizz after the exchange in the top lane. He's going to have to give it up.
Without combat items, Carbon can't do very much here. He's going to need to get himself closer to Spectral Wraith and some levels. Fizz, very level dependent. The entire way through the game, actually. He's actually one of the latest power spikes in the game for a jungler here.
And Avant, by the way, have sniffed out the trade here. They know that they're swapping over. So Ryze is going to be 1v2 for a short period, but Thresh already walking down, looking maybe for a roam. Going to leave Veritas in the 1v1. Oh my god, he has double buffs. Yeah,
there's a reason that these guys left that lane alone in the 2-on-2. They need Trish to get some items. And Taliwaka, honestly, he's going to hit his Haunting guys anyway, and he can TP around later on. So correct lane choice here for Legacy, but Avant Garde are so ahead right now, and they're making great plays off this Jarvan.
Yeah, great roam actually from Nada as well to kind of join the 4v4 that was brewing down towards the bottom side of the map. Tali's actually got a nice experience lead against Graves currently, so that might help him get through what could be rough here with the double buff Graves. But he'll navigate it well. Cardred very happy to be away from that lane. And they'll just try and farm up. Again, that lane swap getting sniffed out really hurt Legacy, especially because Carbon's nice attempt to gank down the top lane went very wrong so quickly.
Yeah, and because Ryze has tier right now, generally speaking, this duo lane for Avant Garde is actually fine. They're also in a decent spot with levels. Porky's actually ahead one over Cardred, so this lane swap is kind of damage control for Legacy, but it's generally still pretty good for Avant Garde.
Yeah, and damage control is important. And Avant Garde, yeah, they'll be fine as well. So we're going to have some pretty funky 2v2 lanes now. As Porky will team up with Nada for a Ryze Thresh duo lane. Apparently Ryze Nami was pretty strong as a duo lane in Avant Garde's last series against Direwolves. I really have fond memories of that. But Legacy is going to continue pushing in. Avant with a nice little lead to kick things off. 1,300 gold at 7 minutes. And an aggressive brutalizer here from Talon. Chuchu's going to have to start powering up. No, he looked good in the early stage. Actually has a good CS lead of about 15. But he's going to need to get a bit more going. Taliwaka's Telly, though, might be what we look for next.
That's true. His is still up, and of course, Dragon's available.
Yes.
And depending on where all these duo lanes go, depending on the kind of numbers they create here, still no one's top to deal with Taliwaka, which is very strange. There's an entire wave missed under the turret. A pretty late recall here by Porky, to be honest. And Legacy, they managed to actually dodge the really miserable double buff Graves here, who doesn't even have any attack damage on him anyway, so this lane is fine now.
Yeah, CS is equalized there as well, so really nice swap back there from Legacy, and perhaps a little misnavigated there over by Avant. Legacy, I think, need to be careful and not play too aggressive. Ejim is a very aggressive support player, and I understand why, but in this particular lane, you just need to know that your Tristana is miles ahead of Graves once you hit your power point. But
they don't have enough wards to really track Jarvan. He could have jumped over the wall you're seeing right down there where Legacy's faces were a second ago, and they wouldn't have known about it. And these guys are pushing out of the turret. So still some pretty big risks made by Legacy. They've got to be smart about the fact that Yuzora is ganking really well.
Nice point hook there from Nada. Doesn't quite hit. The Winner's Bite will pop onto Veritas, but Nada's actually going to get explosive shot. Graves very good at pushing waves into the turret, but Cardred should be able to see us very comfortably with his double drones, and I actually love double drones in this situation. Carbon going to go, the knock-on landed in there as well. I'm not quite sure what he got. It must have been a tornado. Mackenzie gets exhausted up. Chuzi going to chase him now as well. Great ultimate there. Carbon is going to go down. Chuzi tried to win the ultimate. Mackenzie might actually donate some buffs, so does he missed the Q.
Wow, late win wall by Chuchus, couldn't save his teammate. Both enemy players got out just barely. And Legacy has to make sure they don't get heartbroken. They're only down 1,500 gold, and their late game is better. They can't let this tilt them, but a lot of players will be really frustrated when the fights just went like that.
Well, Legacy are, I think in my opinion, the most stable team in high-pressure situations. It's hard, man. The Chiefs, they really felt that pressure in their best of 3. And Legacy, they've known to clutch out against Chiefs, did so in winter because of just how solid they are emotionally as a team. And shout out to Coach Minky.
Yeah.
for really keeping them together. But this is so hard.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so Taliwaka burned his TP to go top lane. Instant recall after 2 waves. And unless he's waiting for Sork Shoes, wait, he recalled for a ward. So he's not planning on going for this dragon at all. Like, there's almost no way Legacy actually gets this dragon. This is going to be Avant.
Zora actually comes in. Choo-Choo does win well the hook there. Very nice. Zora actually maybe now trapped in the arena with Choo-Choo's is not what he wanted. Does have a tornado. E-Jim's here as well. Does find the Q, at least on Brom's side. And Avant will back away there, but continuing to try and pressure the little lead they have.
Yeah, so Catalyst for Porky, and he's got teleport back up. Like, I'm just thinking about the dragon fight coming up. Anytime you see a Rumble, you always think heavily about what happens with dragons. And Avant are in a better spot for it. Great hook on the E-Jim. Doesn't mean much, but hey.
That was so ambiguous as well, the way he threw that out. That was lovely to watch here. And now Dragon is going to get...
He's walking down for it.
He is. He knows Porky does have his TP, though, so could see a 5v5 here. Not convinced.
Yazora's injured. Choo-Choo's has ulti. Carbon's 6. This is actually... Legacy can contest this.
Cardred pretty much can't come in. In fact, they're going to knock him up. Kenzie, beautiful use of the ultimate to deny the knockup by Yasuo. You cannot last breath if you can't see your target.
Yeah, if you're invisible. If you're in Fog of War, you can. I've done that.
Oh, really?
So I randomly queued a wolf camp and just spammed R and just like killed a Lee Sin. It was great. I was like, I'm just going to queue this. What the? Oh, apparently that worked. So from experience, you can Fog of War people, but yeah, I think if they're invisible, you cannot.
That's wonderful. But a good dodge there from Kenzie regardless. Did have his ultimate, but Talon's ult on a very short cooldown. And that Dragon, though, will keep safe for now. Neither team picking that one up. Porky, though, has shoved it in. Tally did roam all the way down from top lane to try and fight what he thought was going to be a Dragon fight. And it was a great ult by Fizz, but Avant is going to continue getting ahead here.
Thing is, I'm generally okay with trading Fizz ult for Talon ult in that kind of situation. Talon's going to do more with his, and that could have maybe set them up for a fight, but with Porky having TP advantage, very hard to keep contesting for that one. Great wind wall. Good read by Choo-Choo's.
Really nice there. Kenzie actually almost killed Choo-Choo's without his ult, and he's got it back now. No ignite available. But
risky. Here he goes.
Carefully does ignite in. There's a great rig at Kenzie. Really easy 1v1 there. Choo's just not keeping track of that ultimate cooldown.
He is not at all. I mean, Brutalizer done pretty early on. I mean, it's going to be back up rather quickly, and it was so. Veritas also been farming for quite some time here. He's going to have a lot of items to buy when he goes back to base. This game is slowly slipping away from Avant Garde, or sorry, from Legacy and Avant Garde. It's them making correct choices over and over again, out-dueling their opponents primarily, and it's beautiful to watch.
And Kenzie has not really had an edge 1v1 against Choo-Choo's. That is a massive confidence boost for him in this particular matchup.
What a great play by him. He had generally been getting... Ooh, this is good, though. Carbon might get himself the first kill.
Tally coming in. The ultimate went a little wide there, but Electro Harpoon will be enough there as Tallywhacker cleans up that kill. So nice pressure there from Fizz. Avant immediately run to Dragon.
Well, these guys going to have to push top lane as hard as they can. Avant, great job playing cross-map objectives. Solo kill mid lane. Top got ganked. They ran down for Dragon. Cleanly picked up their 3,000 gold lead 12 minutes in for Avant Garde. Very, very good start.
It is, and we talked about Coach Minky before being that rock for Legacy, just being so good at keeping the team happy and in high spirits. Tally here, I have to wonder, he's so young as a player and very new. He's a fantastic top laner, as we've seen through all tournament, but I wonder if anyone is going to get nervous in this sort of situation, is it the new guy?
So far, I feel like he's still playing pretty decently. He definitely played great in Game 1. He was actually pretty close to flawless in Game 3 as well. The 0-2 pressure might be a bit more for him, but I still think he's doing okay.
I have to say, by the way, watching Veritas all weekend has been a pleasure. For nothing else, if just what you saw there. That movement on Graves to dodge that Winter's Bite was just stupid.
Oh, yeah.
It was dumb.
He's incredibly good right here, but got to be careful in this bottom lane, though. Carter getting some good damage down. His turret's close to dying.
The turret does go down there in the top lane. Actually, Porky finally cleans that one out. Been working on it for a short while. 3,500 now is the gold lead for Avant. Remember, they're 2-1 up in his best of 5, so this game means everything to them. And I guess it means everything to Legacy, too, because they don't get to play anymore if they lose this one.
That's true. This is a very important game to win for both sides, and more so for Legacy. They need to stay alive here if they want a chance at their second straight championship. Avant Garde wanted to be the new top dogs. Right now, they're Bite and Bark both pretty strong.
Legacy, bottom lane going to continue pushing, and they're being very aggressive. In fact, Carbon's going to look for a dive, it seems like. Does get spotted by a ward, but Yasuo rotated as well there.
But it buys them a turret, honestly. They spend a little bit of time, they buy the turret for it, and heck, they get a blue buff steal anyway. It's not even like they lose that much. Unfortunately, again, cross-map objectives, Avant Garde just go, they take mid over, no big deal, a turret trade, and okay, a lost blue buff, but whatever.
That's so much credit to Yuzora as well in this series. Pretty much ever since Game 2, where he just didn't I don't know if he had no impact on game one, but just I feel like he didn't get much of a chance to play there in that game.
Yeah.
He's played fantastically, especially on Jarvan. Seems to be his new comfort pick.
Completely agree. It's been really good to watch. And again, just because he can go and make these plays, like the aggressive ganks have been absolutely great all tournament long, this weekend, last weekend as well. And the weekend before that one, just overall, getting yourself in these fights, picking people off, these, you know, these risky escapeless assassins are pretty easy to kill.
Static shift though completed now for Choo-Choo, so that's a good item to get him rolling potentially on the split push train. Tiamat though has been finished along with the Brutalizer for Kenzie, so that talent is coming up now with some damage, and Choose, he has to find some space to farm now. Spectral Wave finished by Carbon as well, possibly have it for a couple minutes.
So late though.
Yeah, I don't know when he got it. If he just got it then, that is very late.
And it's going to take 15 camps to fully stack. He'll get that slowly over time, but he's nowhere near Lichbane as well. 0-2 start, not great. Considering how easily he was winning duels against Yozora early on, it's a lot harder now. He at least gets his own blue buffs. Those are nice. He doesn't need them on either of his other solo laners. Porky, though, actually pushing ahead in this top lane. He's got the Rod of Ages done 50 minutes in. That's with a tier already bought as well, so he's doing swimmingly.
So here's my problem, Freak.
Yeah.
In game 2, we saw Legacy pick a very greedy, kind of late game oriented draft, and just couldn't really make it happen. Because like Avant were able to get a lead and go through. I feel like Legacy have picked not as greedy, but have a very similar sort of comp where they need to get to late game here at this point, because they've not been able to make the Rumble work to impact that mid game. So they're pretty much crossing their fingers right now saying, hey, you know what? We got to go late.
So the good thing is for Legacy is they are playing way less greedy than they were in that game. They're playing much slower. Okay, they've been trying to gank and they've unfortunately been backfiring, but they're largely saying, like, it feels like they understand they need to play for late game. That's what it really feels like here, where they're not taking very big risks. They're slowly pushing turrets down. Double static shift is done, gives them great wave clears. They can defend turrets very easily. This hook's not really going to mean too much.
Double play though, box comes through as well. Kenzie has also roamed in. He jumps straight onto Kadra, but the Rake will miss. The Shadow beautiful busted shot. Egypt with the ultimate as well. He's going to die, unfortunately, but Tallywhacker is going to come through. Veritas low there, tank the tower hit as well, but overheated is this Rumble. Cannot clean up anything else, but Egypt, he was the hero right there.
It's a 1-for-1, honestly, a better set of kills coming across the hook. Ooh, but it's a turret trade. It's now Legacy taking cross maps. Choo-Choo stayed mid. Carbon's also pushing top. Legacy come out ahead on this one.
Yeah, and this is Legacy want to trade here so badly.
Yes.
As long as if they equalize gold and are able to put money in their pockets. Exactly. So Carbon's going to get this tower. Choose will not get mid, from what I can tell, but that's a good rotation from Carbon. Oh, Mike, never mind. 80 casters are pretty good.
Yeah, call them Cylons. They're very good traders here.
That's Choo-Choo. You got to clap from the audience for that one. I think that might be the first time.
You guys are way nicer than NA.
This Choo's now going to rotate through. Pickaxe for him. Looks like he's also going to go for that big 2-item power spike and get himself an Infinity Edge.
That's going to be all kinds of scary, man. Graves is a big guy, and the Static Shiv is coming in soon. He's also been just banking money off of the rushed Avarice Blade.
Veritas loves to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
I noticed that in game 2
I think it does it a little bit too much.
Through.
I don't love Avarice Blade first Graves. I think you give away a lot of what could have been early power and early bully potential. But it does mean he's going to be really rich, and he's going to transition nicely, and he's going to stay ahead of cards and items.
Nice playable trickster. Oh, he's going to get the ward too. That's adorable. Yozora does ride the lantern out. Will not get stunned up by the Braum passive. Kenzie is split pushing now, so I actually do like it this time around, whereas Xerath was not quite the split push champion.
No one's around to stop him. He might get a tier 2 turret for this one, which is amazing.
The Chu's going to run around. Veritas is there as well. He could look for it. Oh, Carbon eats Yozora. The Shark may have had a thing or two to do about that. But this tower is going to fall with Veritas rotating through. Trues will defend it. Tallywhacker is coming in as well. Legacy are going to trade those still. They'll get Dragon this time around as their objective.
Yeah, turret for Dragon and a kill. Pretty close overall, but it does mean there's an open inhibitor. Now, it's probably the worst inhibitor to kill. It's not that important because it's near Baron, so defending it's not that hard. And split pushing it doesn't really help you very much map position-wise, but it's still a good amount of gold picked up. The Kenzie split push is strong. He seemed to have adapted to this role quite nicely. And Avant Garde maintained their 2,000 gold lead.
Yep, good movement though by Choo-Choo's and Tallywhacker to defend both the top inhibitor and the tier 2 tower, but Freak looks like we are going to be moving into a replay.
I think we're going to see the missing Jarvan kill here, yeah. So just a long-range Shark. They already had that one warded. It's a good follow-up.
That's a weird flash, I have to say, from Yozora. Fizzle was still on him.
Yeah, I've seen so many players flash with the fizzle on them. It's like, you just got to realize it's not going to happen.
Panic Flash, man. It means real at every level of play for sure, even up here. We do have some of the best around in Oceania. Cooldown boots, actually. The Carbon is his next fight. That's kind of curious.
What was it, sorry?
Cooldown boots for Fizz.
I actually really like cooldown boots on Fizz. So I think unless you're super fed, you don't typically one-shot somebody. I think Sort Shoes are good if you're like, man, I'm so fed, I'm going to destroy a guy with a full combo. That I get. If you have cooldown boots, it heavily increases the chance that you get a second playful Trickster and get out of a fight. I think it's actually really, really massive. And especially when you're a low cooldown champion, CDR is essentially bonus damage because you're getting more spells. And generally speaking, I think Fizz is one of those mages that really, really does work great with cooldown boots.
Kenzie here going to pick up his blue buff. Talon, unfortunately, is reasonably mana reliant, but he will get his blue safely. Choo Choo's now rotating into his split pusher role, which is where he wants to be at this point while he's getting to that Infinity Edge point. I actually like, by the way, that Tristana and Yasuo have pretty much similar, almost identical inventories. They've even lined them up for us.
One extra, well, yeah, that's the Spectator mode doing it for it. But
really?
Yeah, the one extra Doran's Blade. Yeah, Spectator mode is always most expensive item on the inside.
That's awesome.
That's why Potions and Biscuits are always in the out.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Carbon here going to move in as well.
Thanks, Riot.
Thank you, Riot. Carbon finds a friend. It's Porky. Does have his flash. Tallywhacker actually down the bottom. I do like that. I think
good rotations.
Rumble can handle Talon right now.
Oh yeah, Tallywhacker's fine here, especially because he has Zhonya's Hourglass. There's almost no way Kensti one-shots him because he can go in, but he can't go out. So Equalizer Zhonya's means Kensti dies.
Yeah, so 4v4 in the top lane here. Porky actually popped his ultimate. Looking to try and snare someone up.
And keep in mind, there's a TP advantage here. If he TP's out, though, it means he gives away a turret to the split push of Kensti, which is why, even though there's no teleport here for Talon, it's fine. Legacy can't easily force the battle, I don't think. So this 4v4 defense, even though it's potentially a 4v5, I think is very safe for Avant Garde.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if Legacy want to try and put themselves in a situation where they can actually get team fought. They're waiting on quite a few items here. Good check by Nada with the Lantern, by the way. They're waiting for the IEs to come up on both Yasuo and Tristana. Yep. I'm not convinced they should be pressuring this hard because, yes, it's good to keep your opponent back towards their base, but you can just get killed.
No, I mean, Legacy right here should have been doing 3-1-1. They need you just to keep mid-pressured, pull some attention around. The thing is, because this team is stronger and because they threaten teleports, top jungle actually belongs to Legacy right now. And they actually have some decent wards down. They could have probably gotten a few more if they had more Sightstone charges. And then played the top lane, mid lane rotation game and won that. That was actually a possibility here for Legacy. Unfortunately, I think they were actually out of wards primarily, which is why they couldn't do it. But if they get a couple peak wards back in their inventories, buy a couple wards on someone like Carbon or Choo Choo's, then they could have done that here.
This movement will actually give them vision around Baron, and they're actually going for it, but they do pull off this time.
Careful, Carbon.
Oh my goodness. Baron is angry. He will get away though, thancfully.
That was I was thinking of a Carbon pun, I couldn't find one.
I was there. I mean, he's a fisherman. It's a giant worm.
Yeah.
Didn't happen this time though. Choo Choo's now moves into defense. Porky's like, hey dude, how you doing?
Oh,
Choo
Choo's
very good against Yasuo, by the way. Something we didn't really point
out.
Oh,
the ultimate miss.
What a win, Wolfer! Gonna pop him with the ultimate. Actually, Nephew's door off the side, flashes out though, but he's gonna get cataclysm. He conjures and picks up that kill. Tallywhacker moves in as well. There's a knockoff. Everyone's somehow still alive on Lexi. No,
oh, that's short!
Choo's did die.
God.
Goes in at the Nada, cleans him up. Conjures looking for more. Kenzie goes down now as well.
Clean up time.
And now Porky's coming in. It is indeed freak Egypt. So low survives. There's the double.
Wow.
5 for 2 for Legacy.
Absolutely beautiful. Choo Choo's managed to get his own knockup onto the Graves of Veritas, took him down by himself, and by chance, Egypt had ulted and actually caught Yuzora with a knockup as well. So suddenly Jarvan was actually knocked out of the fight for a little bit longer, and it all just became this amazing situation. Talon only was able to take down the low health Yasuo. Suddenly Legacy are in a great spot. Let's play that fight again. This is ridiculous. So the wind wall misses the first thing. Choo Choo takes a whole bunch of free damage, and this starts out so dangerously, but he saves the Q, and he's like, hey, by the way, Veritas, you're dead. There's the catch on the Jarvan. He doesn't get to do very much. And Tallywhacker is perfect here. He lands the E, pops the Zhonya's, right? Kenzie only gets one guy. Ejim actually kites back into the fight. There's so many amazing long-range tools from Legacy. The Shark over the wall, Tristana from long range. This is beautiful for Ejim. Blocks some damage, but like perfectly predicts the damage. Blocks enough to make sure Trist doesn't die and then gets out like nothing ever happened.
And that was a team fight that Legacy, by all rights, should not have won.
Probably
very
not.
Aggressive
With Choo Choo's at half health, caught out like that, and the Graves flanking, if the Graves ulti had hit, that was a whitewash. It's also a 2 for 0 on a turret.
It's also with neither Infinity Edge finish. Guess what happened? They went back to shop after that team fight.
Yeah.
And now both IEs are completed on these carries. So a big surge in power now for Legacy. The gold is equalized almost as well. It's 500 or so between these two teams. Dragon up in 10 seconds.
Kensty's seen here.
Does get spotted up by the scoring up. Will back off it. Tallywhacker has done a stellar job keeping Kensty away from that tier 2 in the bottom lane. And Legacy, they really want to fight for this Dragon now. This is the tipping point for their team comp.
And I'm just so impressed by Legacy to realize who they had to send to defend against Kensty. I like the Avant Garde split push. It's a very strong thing. It creates a lot of pressure. But to realize Tallywhacker is the guy, very smart.
Yeah, Ejim going to go in. Kensty actually now going to get himself caught out. Nada finds a hook on the Carbon. Yeah, he's going to go in here. Zora, beautiful playful tricks to the keeps Fizz okay. Great equalizer in the choke point. They're going to dive back in now. Zora gets knocked off. Cardra now unstoppable. Picks up Java. Kensty all the way after the side getting busted shot. He can't do anything. And Tally will maybe 1v1 him. Rake will get him out. The Cardra picks it up. Now Choo-Choo's double ultimate. Right on double him. There's the double kill and the triple. Double kill for both carries here. 4 for 1 there.
That's the kill.
Goodbye.
Absolutely beautiful. Yuzora overextends. Legacy capitalized on it perfectly. Choo-Choo's his Yasuo. By the way, he's repeatedly setting himself up in these fights. When you think he's down and out, he finds the ulti. It is amazing, and Legacy likely to get an inhibitor, but they've got to be careful with their health bars. If they stay for the inhib, they risk a Baron retake.
Legacy, by the way, looking to live up to their namesake. I cannot believe we're in the exact same situation we were in the last regional. Legacy are looking to force a game 5 now. They have a small lead here in terms of actual gold lead, but my God, does their composition look good right now.
Their composition outscales. They kept the game within 2,000 gold. That was the important thing. They kept the game within 2,000 gold for a very long time. I think part of that is Veritas' greedy item build. Didn't have an early power spike. Took a very long time to come online, and so Avant Garde took, I think, less than they could have earlier on in this game. And now, Cardred, the insurance policy, he's big. Choo-Choo's gigantic, buying a Bloodthirster soon. Carbon, about to have his Zonias, he's in good shape. Everything has come online for Legacy.
And I have to say, I want to echo your sentiment about Legacy sending Tallywhacker specifically as the man to stop the Kensty split push. Because for me, one of the weaknesses of Legacy when I've seen them play is that they don't make the best mid-game strategic calls. They team fight well, they lane very well, but they don't always have the mindset in mid-game to be like, what are we supposed to do here? But if they get in the fights, they're really good. As Cardred, we're going to go aggressive. Ejim tags his Zora. Carbon going to look for an ult. Does throw it out, but Zora will get himself out.
That was supposed to start. Here comes the TP.
The fight is going in. He's dead, though. Veritas has picked him up. There's Ejim's going in with the ultimate. Brutality has come down as well. Cardred, where are you? He's trying to do the damage off towards the back. Carbon actually looking good as well, but Kensty's picked up Ejim. Tally, not enough damage. Cardred, the crits on another. There's the grab, but he gets the kill. Double now for Fizz. Tally with a great Zonias.
3v3.
3v3 is good hit. As Cardred finds here. Zora gets the kill. Goes legendary on the Drusana. Goodbye, Veritas. There's the double. Make it triple for Cardred. Another 5-man wipe there. 5 for 3 this time for Legacy.
Cardred and Carbon basically won that fight by themselves. 2 people got picked off at the very, very start. Tallywhacker, a half-decent ulti, but really not that impressive. But the high damage cleanup crew was so good. Fizz was too elusive to die. Cardred got so many resets, and they cashed in that insurance policy pretty strong.
They really, really are. They must have bought some extensive coverage, because this Cardred fellow at 10, 1, and 5 with 200 CS is looking like the shining light for Legacy to make it a 5th game here. Tally's Zonies have been absolutely ridiculous as well this game. And Carbon showing up on the team fighting Jungle Fizz. Legacy, man, when they want to brawl, they brawl hard. And
this is a pretty uncontestable Baron. Thankfully for Legacy, top lane was pushed out. Mid lane, of course, had the dead inhibitor. This gives so little vision to Avant Garde, and suddenly Legacy are absolutely in the driver's seat.
Poised to end this game now and force it to a game 5. Legacy got to be careful. They've actually spotted Veritas. Oh!
It's close!
Oh, Carbon. I don't think he must... Do you have Urchin Strike? Maybe
it's a very short range, and it wouldn't have actually dealt damage in time.
Yeah,
the grace period
the recall invincibility,
yeah.
They do take a tower, though. This is a good position, actually. Never mind, they're actually not going to go too deep here. They've actually, I guess, found Ejim, who has a few friends here in Izora and Nada. All ultimates available, though. Quite a few flashes up as well. They can go in there. That's a great stand behind me by Ejim. Catches that hook out of midair.
Yeah, oh man. So, Everyone's okay. Everyone's okay. 4,000 gold difference, but Baron buff here. And Legacy, by the way, they've got a great sieging team. Even though they only have one ranged champion, Tristana is the best sieger in the game. She's got a crap ton of attack damage. And I don't know what the Avant Garde defense is going to look like.
One of my favorite cores in the game, by the way, Yasuo Braum. So strong in sieges. Just walls up everywhere. Tristana from the back with the long range.
True, you really deny a lot of the openings.
You really want to engage on a team either near your turret or under your turret with a Rumble ultimate?
Oh man, look at this by Carbon. He's waiting to flank this fight. They're happy to siege up, take their time at the bot lane tier 2. It's good to cash in the gold they get for this one, although they can easily go mid afterwards and get the inhibitor down.
Legacy do actually have to be careful here. They haven't spent their gold since Baron. They've actually gotten Baron. They're trying to get maximum usage out of the duration. They're doing a good job knocking down turrets, but I don't think they want to try and break the base without having spent that gold. Look at this.
I agree. With 2 minutes of Baron buff left, you recall back. You basically, yeah, okay, clear this wave mid. Probably not one more wave. You probably just clear this wave mid, get your recalls in. Your mini waves are now at worst neutral with an opener to hit mid and easily take an inhibitor turret afterwards in the bot lane. And a massive lead in items and combat stats.
Yeah, and Legacy, no, they've already backed off. Juju's going to be a little late to the recall party, but he'll join in once again. Mercury chose the choice here. Quite interesting.
I like it.
It's great. He has not maxed his Q cooldown with attack speed, but I think he's still fine.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to be a little bit slower in the Qs, but I don't think that's very important. He's got other people to set up the knock-up and the ulti for him anyway. The important thing is not just outright dying to a Thresh Hook or a Rune Prison or something like this. Tenacity, reasonably helpful against this Avant Garde team comp.
Fantastic chain vest here as well by Cardred. He knows that the biggest threat is this Talon. Does not want to get blown up, so even more insurance there as well. Legacy, this is your time. If you're going to force a game 5, it needs to be right now on Avant. If you want to cause an upset in this game and win 3-1 here, you better pull one big miracle.
So I don't think you defend this inhibitor. You're against Baron buff, you're down in gold. You've still got the chance for the Rise carry at the very end of it all. I think Avant Garde can't lull themselves into this.
Yep, good win willer from Choose as well. Yuzora kind of poking off with that Q. That means he can't actually initiate if he wanted to. Carbon will eat a Q there from Fizz, but minion waves will ride in, and Legacy should be more than happy. Baron is still with a decent duration. Tally gets caught. He's overheated as well. But the inhibitor does go down here. Avant Garde may be looking to re-engage, but...
Okay, so Botland's going to take some work to get taken out, but they've got basically one minion wave left of Baron buff. Legacy could choose to go for it, but they actually have managed to buy enough time, Avant Garde, with the Rake, with the Static Shift Graze, with the Rise popping his ulti just for the AoE. Avant Garde bought a lot of time. They actually only lost, I believe, 1 turret per Baron buff. That's very impressive to hold that much. I mean, the retake of the inhib is not a big deal. It's going to happen almost regardless of Baron or not. And so now Legacy, they've got to kind of work the hard way.
Carbon. Well, actually, Legacy are rotating. This is an amazing collapse. He actually got baited in Carbon. As Bobby's on his Egypt wants to go in. They're going to show this fight. Casey gets blown up by Cardred. Nada now looking to go down as well. Porky in a whole host of trouble. Looks like it could. Will go in there. Does fall on the ultimate. Trump the waters in. There's the triple for Cardred. Getting at the Plancha. Does not pick that up as Tally gets rumbled. Java takes a Yasuo. But there's another race for Legacy. We might be done.
And I feel like I've seen this before. The full house for Legacy. Tristana over Rumble. 2-2 now, Legacy. Will they live up to their own? Pulling it to game 5. Who is the new top dog of Oceania?
Seriously?
Yeah,
seriously, guys?
Hey.
Did you have to do this again?
Hey, here at PAX, we have gone the max number of games, and I would not want it any other way. All 4 teams here put on an absolutely great show. A bunch of amazing games. I am glad this went to game 5.
You know what? I wasn't sure we were ever going to top the Winter Regional Final, but this series is shaping up like it might here. Legacy, come on, guys.
Hey.
The same pattern?
They got to make it interesting.
Well, it's game 5, so that's good for everyone.
Yes,
and good for us all because we get more games. What happened there, you think, with Avant?
What happened was basically not being able to capitalize off of a team that had some very pronounced strengths. So the Legacy had the better late game, for sure. They had the better team fight, for sure. The advantage these guys had was an arguable counter pick in mid lane that did not pay off. He did get 1 solo kill, but that was it. That was all Kenstey got out of that counter pick in the mid lane, and he didn't even turn that into very much. And then there was basically a giant kill lead because you're basically abusing a Tristana lane and abusing a freaking beautiful counter gank in the top lane. And then Avant Garde just didn't do anything with it. They went average blade brawlers gloves on Graves and was like, we're just going to farm against Tristana, guys. Don't worry. 35 minutes, I'm going to have like 1,000 more gold than her. Like, grats, she's Tristana. Her combat stats are higher than that. So I think it was a miscapitalization by Avant Garde where they had, I think, tools to push for more, try to strangle the map earlier. Like, set up an 18-minute Baron because you're going to be an item ahead, because all your lanes are winning, because Fizz doesn't do anything with an unstacked Spectral Wraith. And they haven't played around those types of comps yet. It's so hard to be like, okay, guys, let's practice our 18-minute Barons in this scrim, because those are rare situations, but this was one of them where they needed to realize they can't let the clock keep going. And the whole game, the whole mid-game, they're up 3,000 gold, and I'm like, this doesn't matter. 3,000 gold against that Legacy comp is like a 60-44 Legacy at that point.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned it as well, because that is basically how the Chiefs lost against Legacy in the last event. They're just like, they picked better late game when we got outscaled because we didn't crush them hard enough.
Right, and that's the problem. It's not crushing hard enough. It's not like, oh, if we landed that one more thresh hook, it would have been fine. It's not that you're getting picks. You set up the plays. Like, good on the members of Avant Garde to make the plays they did. The counter gank in the top lane was freaking sick. The heal bait was amazing. I mean, I can't celebrate these players enough for their individual plays, but then as a team, you need to do something with that gold lead, with the fact that they cannot fight you, so make them.
Well, we're going to check a replay now, Freak, and see just how good the team play is here between these two. We'll get that up on your screen, and Freak, take it away.
So I want to remember which one this one is. So Kensti, off in the wings, dodges a few things. This is actually a lot earlier on. I have to remember what happened here. Oh yeah, Carbon dodges this. And this is Yuzora Overton. This is the first big fight they win. Look how zoned back. They are doing nothing. They're doing literally nothing. It is a 5v3 until now. And Veritas still isn't. He went left. He went all the way around the fight. His team, he just now joins the battle. And Choo Choo's, thankfully for him, has his Q ready, gets a double knockup. Ejim shows up with an amazing Unbreakable to make nothing happen. And I mean, that was a great set of zoning ultimates. Equalizer and a Glacial Fissure removed the duo lane and made a 5v3, and Veritas didn't show up to that fight nearly in time.
Yeah, especially when you're 525 range Graves. Right. Pretty hard to get involved, unfortunately.
And the thing is, at that point, they were overfarmed. Like, that was a fight that probably should have been won by Avant Garde, especially if they bought the right items, but just in general, that matchup, unless you get outplayed, which they did, you're going to win that fight. And, I mean, beautiful ults to make that happen, beautiful capitalization. And that brought Legacy right back in, and they controlled it from there. All
right, well, so people here at PAX Australia on stream, this is your warning. You have about 3 minutes to do whatever you need to do because you are not missing this game.